Right, okay, so was it just the two of you?
54, just FYI, you're not tracking. You'd have to turn the unit off and then back on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, just be clear and we'll be true and then you'll
apart from that,
Anything description,
Number is going to be 1371 to 1371.
Yeah.
location.
Yeah.
Finding nothing to justify a body search.
Thank you for your patience.
10
Two passengers are free to go.
154, 126.
Oh, safe journey.
46, go ahead. Correction, 46. I'm out front. I have paperwork for you.
Not nervous at all. More than willing for me to do the search. And because of his cooperation, we've got done it quicker actually. So he went to the drive. At the end of the day, we're going to catch some people.
The war against drug gangs is also fought using undercover surveillance officers. In 2005, officers listening in on one smuggling plot picked up clues that another bigger importation was being hatched by three men.
It was carried out over a period of about 6 months. Some fairly intensive surveillance on a number of people, including some Fisher,
Undercover customs officers put the suspects under continuous surveillance. The officers began hearing hints of what sounded like a major drug smuggling plot.
Certain phrases were picked up by the officers while they were on surveillance, and one of those was brave to do it, and the other was run. Run is a common term in smuggling parlance, one that we would expect to hear. Brave to do it really speaks for itself.
The officers were waiting for any hint of the next stage of the plot. The suspect's intentions became clearer when they were followed to a meeting with a pilot.
Pilot to a pilot, Leith, adjusted with his hand.
Yeah,
They seemed very much like a plane flying in, coming down low, and then taking
Ray Hollum, you got your radio on.
They started to give us an idea
Ray Hollum, you got your radio on.
what was being discussed. Part of the surveillance took place in Aitken Hill a little while later, and on the seat of William's car there's a map of the surrounding area, and Simon figures and William Leith went out into the fields, what we believe now was try and find a suitable venue to put the drugs off the plane.
But so far, all Customs had was talk. They had more concrete proof of what the gang were planning. The intensive surveillance was about to step up again.
Surveillance was carried out in fact, what we had was an officer in a plane shouting
Is it clear for a holdable alarm? 4706 Everhart Road, acknowledged.
hired.
Okay.
The plane drops down to, we think, about 140 and then pulls up sharply, away again.
When you're conducting these operations, there's always the right time to actually knock something, to actually take it further.
Reports of an accident, Highway 77 North, East 16 Bishop.
But the officers in the UK were beaten to it when the pilot Leith was caught red-handed with the drugs before he left the ground.
With 63 kilos of cannabis in a light aircraft, which really confirmed our suspicions that they were intending to bring in drugs in a private aircraft.
19 Delta, I'll train route. So bad, right?
The smugglers' plan had collapsed, and worse still, they were about to be arrested.
Good.
Phillips and Little were taken out
That's just where they
together,
put the call in.
carrying a holder
Reporting party
and a
said by
box
Holy
containing
Ghost. They're still updating.
£400,000 in cash. Fisher tried to hide, but was trapped using his mobile phone and arrested in a pub. They were all found guilty at trial. Little was given community service, but as the organisers, Fisher received 7 years and Phillips 5 years. It all came as a big surprise to the gang who were oblivious to the surveillance operation that snared them.
I was surprised that they were surprised. Certainly when we saw the defendants in court and they were watching the evidence that we'd collated, Yeah, I would definitely say that they were surprised.
631.
I think testament to the quality of the surveillance officers that we have.
Repeating
In Bristol, a plane from Banjul has just touched down. Officers were on the ground hoping to catch any drug smugglers, no tourists on this flight.
Banjul is a flight for us, really, which is produced for cocaine.
Just go slowly, so all these people can leave the parking.
Doesn't look familiar or looks out of the ordinary. It could be anything. Just pull it off and pull over the passengers and see what's in the box.
The X-ray can identify drugs, tobacco and foodstuffs, but to find out exactly which, passengers need to be searched.
So round shows it was organic.
We're going to be 37 northbound.
Another one there. We've got 3 bags so far.
The X-ray has identified 3 suspicious bags. But while the team went to apprehend the passengers, a man with a small bag and a new suit tries to make a quick exit.
Just stop the John Heath cleaners being out there trying to do some business.
It's going to be a disturbance at 3495,
The passenger's bag has been cleared. The suit is an unusual object that Russ suspects may have been put there deliberately.
Passengers are going to go around, so you should have already all fixed that.
Got like 3 or 4 compartments.
All the ones that are going to follow the procession.
Between the lines, it just looked like there was tacking a bit of glue along one little rib. It's quite well done. It looked intact for most of it. Just a little layer of glue.
Just slow down a bit because I'm caught up at the
middle, and there's a package within that. I'm suspecting there's probably other packages within the other bits as well, but I can't see what's in it at the moment. It was clearly something suspicious, so just
go back to the location. I'll meet you there in about 10 minutes.
The passenger is arrested, while Russ tries to determine what's in the suspicious bag.
I'm just going to
What around Johnny Heath? You have a accident supposed to be at Highway 77 North and 86. Do you know exactly where? Because we're in front of DJ 06 and it's not here.
Negative. Our plane just advised you're on the highway, on the bridge, in front of police cars, in a gray Hyundai passenger car.
24, show us an air checking. Okay, slow down a bit because caught up in some traffic. I'm coming up to very top. From very top.
Step around the very top.
package within the bag has come up with quite a high positive trace for cocaine. It's possible there might be some other packages within that bag. I'm going to need to put a call to our investigation team to see who would get it from this.
Targeting the flight from Banjul has paid off, which is more than can be said for this man's attempt to smuggle cocaine, and his ordeal is far from over. In Cornwall, Customs Ship Searcher is on patrol. Skipper Colin gets a call about a Polish ship heading into Falmouth with a container of explosives being returned from North Africa.
How much are we talking about here? 20-foot container. Right, yeah, okay, we'll definitely be there. No
it's a race to beat the vessel into port, just in case there are any smugglers amongst the crew.
Yeah, we want to be there when it arrives, because that's they're either going to offload stuff very quickly and get off as soon as they arrive to shore crews or shore parties, or the other way of doing it is to take stuff off just before they leave, so they keep it in deep storage, deep in concealment, and then just bring it out at the last minute and get it ashore then. Snatch and throw it over the side as soon as they arrive. It's quite a favourite one still. So if there's anything on there, we want to be there when.
The Polish ship arrives in Falmouth to be greeted by customs officers who want to know why the explosives, originally destined for Libya, are now being discharged in the UK.
4175.
There it is.
The suspiciously poor paperwork shows no name, but it turns out to be a legitimate cargo, which was rejected in Egypt and is being returned to Holland overland.
This can be a completely different.
And show me your officers of Allah, please.
They're going to have a quick look around the boat.
The mystery of the container has been solved, but the officers also want to rummage the entire ship for illegal cigarettes.
The age of it is probably going to be a few
Negative. That's going to be a different address.
stockpiled a few cigarettes.
Donnie, y'all hear that?
Time in UK waters. Hopefully we'll find those.
Do you want to catch them on business
Back in Bristol, the examination of the man with a bag of cocaine continues.
Business 77 to
The bag is x-rayed, and it looks like there's more than they thought.
1889.
10-4, on a call.
Block 694 and 40.
It's good when all this stuff we have works. Good job, Russ. But I did say I wanted...
It's a serious haul of a Class A drug. And before Russ can transport the arrested man into custody, he'll have to be strip searched.
Probably 11:13.
That's 160.
Your I number is
The only behavioural indicator that I spotted was him fiddling around in his pockets.
24711 24711.
00910 is going to be John Heath.
Should I get the side or should I do that, please? I don't think we'll have it, Jay. If not, I think I'll get the four-way stop.
Adam 130.
It's really clear.
Not all smugglers act the same, but this man appears unconcerned by the seriousness of the crime.
Call for 1975, Lisa that minor, 4175 is in route as well.
Oh, it's just
goes to Weber.
It's amazing.
The last one's past 694.
632.
Yeah, a couple of stragglers, but they can't be waiting for me. Yeah, go for it. Shut the one.
That's 130.
13315. We're going to be clear. So let the over.
4:30 at the end of this. It's amazing how it's so cool. I mean, he has been like this before. He looks really cool. It's amazing thing. You don't know really. You don't know what they're doing inside. If you're down by his chest, it may be a different story. From the outside, he looks as cool as you can get.
The officers also search the rest of his bags and find 2 passports in other names.
Adam 130.
Adam 130 area.
Oh, 20. Adam 130 area.
Adam
120, I'm
no interest door, but
Adam 120 area.
You'll be handcuffed, put in the car and taken to the Sydney police station.
I'll be checking the area.
He's sitting there very compliantly in a moment. If they'll stay that way and take him to the police station.
It's a great result for the officers, with over 3 kilos of cocaine off the streets, and one more smuggler heading for some serious time behind Customs officers are still searching the Polish vessel for any cigarettes being smuggled into the UK to be sold on the black market.
I'll fill the light at power. Or you can get it in and give me power.
That's 180, simply.
Do you have any more cigarettes?
Hold on, can you check our 4175?
Our piece of loss prevention.
Yeah, that's it.
Woody's finding signs that the crew aren't all as honest as they should be.
You know what? No.
432 from 105 covers the caller is not in the area.
Cigarettes.
134. I'm now getting the address is 84 and Deputy 4175 to Graham, Deputy Sam, 602 and Mary King, Zebra 8745 on the call.
Flashing a gun at him.
Adam 130.
It's only a small amount, but it's often a sign of bigger things to come.
Violet towards McDonald's.
Captain does not
As a trash bag.
That's why the best area is to search usually away from where the captain might go on a day-to-day basis.
The captain wants to sail on, but searching the ship could take hours, although there's no evidence of serious smuggling so far.
Potentially it was a great big problem. We had hints that it was going to Libya. We've managed to clamp it down to being a legitimate company doing legitimate trade, which is basically what it's all about. Sorting out the bad guys from the good guys. Just Daniel said, he's shouting something. You found 10 pounds.
Just as they're about to give up, they find a stash of cigarettes deep in the ship's hull.
Cigarettes were found on top of that ledge.
That's negative, decline contact.
Behind some pallets. So this place here was locked. You need to go
Adam 130, checking inside McDonald's.
and over the top, and there's 3 pallets.
Adam 140.
Cigarettes
And they're requesting EMS over there.
Copy,
Passed out.
The
situation is that we think there are more cigarettes on here.
797,
You're getting dirty, you're getting tired, you're getting upset.
Alright, 14 shows and well, TV.
Boy didn't look like anything in his hands anymore.
We it's found 10,000 captain, and it's causing you a lot of problems. People get the owner for us and help us out by trying to track down if there are more cigarettes on here. Have a word with the crew and tell them to find cigarettes for us, or there will be problems.
Usually service 1975 and unit 2771. I'll go down there in Long Island in a minute.
Okay.
It could mean a hefty fine if he doesn't cooperate. So the captain summons the crew to the mess deck and reads them the riot act in the hope of identifying the smuggler. No one owned up, and as the cigarettes were so well hidden, the officers decide not to find the captain or the company.
We're here aboard the ship for the explosives, but also the search and explosives firearms. So we didn't actually expect to find any cigarettes. There you go. It's just what
I don't want 40 adult male detained in my vehicle.
Yeah,
we're going to be looking up and down the strike on the
10 files of cigarettes will be destroyed. The cocaine smuggler in Bristol pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 9 years in prison. It turns out he's also wanted in Italy for a string of other drug-related offences. Coming up, Cocaine officers pay a visit to an illegal cigarette dealer.
Basically,
Apartment 622, 622.
Hey, 414 last saw that line green vehicle going on down there.
In Portsmouth, the suspect gets angry when his new car is dismantled. And officers find a suspicious substance in the suitcase in
Can you attach me to a call at Bishop High School with 2044? You want to issue me a Bishop case on the police?
Case number 0621.
0621. Corner.
Yeah, we're going to be clear at 5-8.
Fine.
3150.
3150.
It's early morning rush hour, with dozens of flights arriving into Gatwick from Africa and Caribbean, source areas for Class A drugs. Customs officers are on high alert, searching passengers who fit profiles associated with smugglers.
I walked around the whole library, everything's here. Well, we got most of them.
3150, the number on your call was 620-0620.
The passenger told immigration he has no money, will be staying in Britain for 2 months, and a friend has agreed to pay all his expenses. It's a story Michael's heard many times before from drug couriers.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll call the cell. 53?
It's well concealed, but Mike thinks he's found a large quantity of cocaine built into the case. The paste tests positive for cocaine.
Yeah,
1055.
You think Robert would be closer?
Which has shown a white post.
I haven't been to that one here. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, we know.
Lime green I will remind you that
somewhere in the vicinity of
The attempted importation has failed.
This is our third time we've
And it was a long way from being the perfect crime.
for this phone number today. And of course,
the grammar of it was awful. Very
434. What did 420 say?
very good at all. There was also
it's going to be a lime green vehicle last seen in the vicinity of
and the writing was very, very similar. So I assume that it was written by him himself.
Case number
It's a serious crime
370037.
carrying a maximum of 15
Yeah,
years.
from Buffalo from A2.
Hold the pants down.
There's actually a 604, 1500 South Staples, $1.
The officers want to find out if anyone else is involved. and the investigations could take some
Yeah,
time.
well, I mean, you see the mail.
Oh, okay, I got this. Thank you.
There's a good chance I'll be late.
154. 10-8.
The man initially observes his right to silence, but he soon starts giving information about possible accomplices.
Okay, what is the meeting you've had today?
Yeah, go ahead, one more there.
Okay, and
The
what
bike's
does
on
he
the
look
board.
like?
I'm pulling a code 4. I got a timed out code domestic on Delray. Just wait for 18 to finish up. I have 3 codes.
So then I also think email from
timed out. 84.
Are they bondable?
5'10".
Is that female bondable? What's the name? 32 and
He
31.
decides to put out an announcement for the man to come to the information desk to see if they can catch him too.
Adam 140.
Bald head. About 5'10".
10-4. Adam 140.
If he's involved, it's unlikely he'll fall
There
for
are no
the trap,
previous
but it's
convictions.
worth a try.
11-4.
In Portsmouth, officers are hunting a possible target vehicle picked out by the intelligence hub.
Delta 280, Delta 110, for family disturbance, 1336 10th Street. Contact Juliet.
What tends to find out is criminality.
30, I got one running from 30 Buffalo's a week.
Show me out at the Vala, please.
This time of year, it's not from Africa. It could be anything as bizarre as
Drug smugglers seem normal, so it's Richard's job to hunt for the incriminating details.
Information about the car, so can you tell me what the situation is with the car?
Vaccinated 141.
Delta 260, Delta 270, trespass. 125.
So you bought it.
Full patient, refusing to leave at the ambulance stop in the hallway.
Okay, how long are you going to...
10-4, show me clear radio.
In English, how long are you going to wait?
I got 3 individuals on the caddy of Houston. Maybe one on 83.6.
No, this is
Those guys, they're not it.
Delta, you're right. Another call from EMS. I spoke with them guys. They're not here. Nothing further. 1858.
Yes.
A long trip and one-way ticket are both reasons to investigate further. And the suspiciously clean interior also makes Richard think the car may have something to hide.
It's not a new car, second-hand car.
Clock him in at 11:12.
Are they able to contact the parents? To remove the kid from school rather than just... You can show me a clip from that call and send me back at precinct 3 till further notice.
1813-1813.
Richard must now tell the man his new car is going to be searched in the specialist rummage bay.
Right now.
We've got a ramp here, we're going to put on the ramp so we can get over it more thoroughly than we could do here. We have a waiting room where you can sit in there if you wish to keep warm.
It was traffic accident with one
situation
sister,
is. We'll obviously deal with it.
7-year-old male texting for the accident. They're out there with their
Give me care 185.
The driver could be annoyed because he has something to hide, but perhaps he's just nervous about having his new car pulled
Reception
apart.
vehicle, TA, the advisor is a 7-year-old male in the car that's having chest for the accident.
The smuggler caught in Gatwick is now being transferred to the custody cells, where the reality is beginning to sink in.
They're still understanding they were interrupted after
I don't know what
Yeah, Delta 210, 250, and 4175.
The man is locked up,
132.
while the officers out back should be charged with trying to smuggle.
No, there he has like 3 jackets. Let me see.
1107.
As I saw on the X-ray, there's 2 of these. From what we've got here, we've estimated the total amount of cocaine could be 2 kilos, which is a street value of about £100,000.
And in the terminal, the person meeting him has answered the announcement and has been arrested. The poorly planned crime has gone wrong on every level.
I'm there on the roadway. the only Marine Corps fleet. John
Delta 250, I'll show you available.
Where we put out a call for the person missing today. And a gentleman has come forward and said
Delta
that he was
120
here
or
to meet
130.
We've subsequently arrested him and he's been brought here today to the custody suite, and also the driver of the vehicle that was also here to meet him was also been brought here, the taxi driver.
All three are under arrest and placed in cells for questioning. It's now up to the investigation team to find out who is responsible and ensure a successful prosecution. It's another important seizure, but with all the suspects claiming to know nothing about the cocaine, it could take some time to work out who's guilty. After a long wait for a technical officer to arrive, the driver of the suspect living in vehicle is getting annoyed.
We can stop the car.
The car is suspiciously clean, having just driven 2,000 miles from Africa. They need to examine every possible space to ensure it's not being used for smuggling. The officers are expert mechanics, but this man is clearly very protective of his new car.
I'm not a good enough person to really recommend braking.
No, it's power.
Surely you should know, shouldn't you? Not everyone smuggles is obvious to us.
The whole search takes nearly 2 hours and finds nothing. A long wait has allowed every driver to calm down.
We're in custody. 412. I'm able to get your call in 4509 Bauer. Yeah, it doesn't verify. Bauer.
I'm sorry for
10-4.
Radio 2102 are 2 minutes long and ready.
For a wrong-way driver, Highway 44 on the westbound side in Corpus.
Before we got here,
Charlie, the traffic to Delta 130 is given a struggle. We've got a male in custody. Patrol 2 left 56.
140, show me for 7 of this.
Today's run, running the phone number and the
538 coming in low.
Still to come, in Bristol, the usual officers have been joined by the National Strike Force to carry out house searches on people suspected of dealing illegal cigarettes. All the intelligence has come from anonymous tip-offs on the customer's confidential hotline. For officers that use suspect tones, it can be dangerous.
Caller gave the number.
Delta 250 being around without a 110. It was a one-way driver on Highway 44. They're now facing the access road
Selling a few
on the westbound
cigarettes,
side.
the black market
Car is eastbound on the westbound access road.
£200 a year.
716-315-6351.
Where were you? 10-4 Delta 130 traffic yet was running from the subject in custody.
3 suspicious activity already.
We're riding QC.
Many tip-offs are found to be false, so the officers initially go in without a warrant. And that means negotiating permission to search the house.
basically, we've had information
181.
that he's selling cigarettes from the premises. Okay. I'm
It's going to be activity at 3032 East 79th Street, 3032 East 79th Street, 4004, caller advised the Haverny, caller advised, the overheard the neighbor's signature were quote-unquote
All the evidence the officers need is sitting on a
caller
dining
advised
table.
1928 Gray Chevy pickup truck, advised they have a photo in their phone, please release it out in the area.
Well, with domestic, and you gave us a missile hope.
9128 Dauphine is a park. There's a area parked in front of the fire.
Down on the westbound access road.
Phantom 13 radio.
We got to play block. Keep Compass on the upper roadway by door number 1 has been ticketed.
Spain on the 9th of
Did any of the involved parties call?
Taylor son. Son has a very big case.
That's 180.
Is that your big suitcase up there? Big outside one in a spare room?
I'm not seeing anything around 150 in the Lorraine County.
And with perfect timing, a customer turns up to find the shop closed indefinitely. The black market is clearly booming in Bristol. In Gatwick, the Customs Intelligence Hub has given officers information that a drug smuggler is coming in from the Caribbean. They'll be questioned at immigration seems suspicious enough for Customs to do a drug swab, which gives a massive hit for cocaine.
I didn't advise them already clear and paper.
Drug smugglers are often forced into the crime and told nothing of the dangers and the possible lethal consequences of a burst package.
Upper roadway for terminal. We have an African American male who's soliciting. Right now he's
if you want office number,
The suspect has denied taking cocaine, so a positive urine test could suggest she has swallowed drugs.
Can you place a locate on the record so I can clear? Okay, I was looking through the paperwork that the D1
The
card
woman will now be arrested and x-rayed for packages.
I don't know if somebody at DH messed up and put Harrison, but
But to the officer's frustration, she's now claiming to have used drugs.
okay, copy.
Yeah, I'm already on
you can see area.
Copy.
Yeah, you should have the landlord's tenant.
I can see Virginia's heading that way. Do I have somebody else that can assist her?
But the officers aren't
Lloyd on
convinced.
TTF, go Carl, that's that go.
Alright, Adam 13, Dan wants you to take him on his floor.
Yeah, I'm right here.
They suspect she may be pregnant, and so will be taken to a private hospital to have her body scanned safely. That means waiting for another interpreter, and that means putting on the white suit.
PNE address?
Yeah, right, we always go out there and you have to take over.
Because what we'd be concerned of is maybe start to pass.
Somebody central that can walk out.
Maybe pick them up.
You're able to see if they'll come to the school.
Sometimes
We're getting a call reference another theft at the HUE.
that's why we need
From a wallet. No, it's related. Mary at the service
The
center.
officers are extremely concerned for the woman's health, and all the signs are pointing to a definite swallower. If so, she may be at a lengthy sentence.
Don't go down.
It's a bit concerning because with her origin story, when we asked her, she doesn't touch
Okay, I'll call them
Still the 252
then,
Okay,
well,
can you advise them to call the school and let them know that
so her story
we're going to be removing her?
All the way to Starport.
be surprised if we didn't see
No wrong way, driver. No, I did that. I was here.
It's a nervous ride to the hospital, which could decide the woman's future.
I did it, everything for you already on that part clear. Alright, he's calling.
Customs officers also stop smugglers who try to bring in drugs using the postal system.
Give me that, please.
In October 2002, a routine parcel exam uncovered a massive haul of drugs hidden in a shipment of doors.
Male, female, 30 minutes ago. We just received this call. We're going to hang around. We got like 2 windows to board up on the door and they'll be completed here. We're just going to hang out with them.
In the box were 9 ammunition rounds and something altogether more frightening.
And you can imagine the surprise when they opened it to find out the need. And I think everyone stepped back about half a mile.
The decision was made to do a controlled delivery and catch the culprits in the act. But all they had to go on was the consignment address in Devon and a phone number which belonged to Timothy Andrews.
One individual in particular, Timothy Andrews, we can
Officers tailed Andrews round the clock for 3 days. Mobile phone analysis identified Andrews' partner in crime, Andrew Griffiths. The race was now on to get the package delivered on time. The team replaced all the drugs and ammunition with props and prepared to make the delivery.
The controlled delivery commenced on the Monday morning. One of our officers got to TNT delivery drive and drove it down to the address, consignment address in Ivy Bridge. But within the actual consignment, we had placed an audio device, in fact a number of audio devices.
The officers were hiding, waiting for the right time to strike.
When it became clear that the package was being broken into and dismantled, I decided at that point that I would call them up.
50 armed officers stormed the building and found two henchmen. Andrews and Griffiths were elsewhere, but were still being followed and were arrested.
Go to the front office here for
guilty. But customs investigators used mobile phone cell tracking information to tie them to the crime scene.
121, you got a call with
And you wish an address that previously had gone to
wait a minute, let me see what I get. Okay.
The evidence convinced the jury that it was Andrews and Griffiths behind the crime. Bonds were acquitted, and the sentences handed down to the smugglers made a happy ending for the officers.
Sentences handed down by Judge resulted in a 40-year sentence for Griffiths and a 39-year sentence for Andrews, serving at least 15 years.
6 years old, complaining of a mass.
Back in Bristol, Ross and Jane haven't found any more cigarettes and decide not to prosecute the woman. Instead, they want her to turn informant.
Try and get some details about this name. If we can.
Nothing going on here.
Young lad, where's he picking these up for?
631, you ready?
31,
You don't want to tell us anything about it.
I did that last time, you couldn't find it. You want it, you ready? Okay, you know what?
Delta 245 or Delta 2
Seizing the 9,000 cigarettes, they now want to get out before it turns ugly.
You check this arm on it. We don't really have to cover the house because the locals,
you'll be finding a school bus, the back of it says 4841, and the license plate is 99409, Sam Boy. 175 added notes, I'm clear.
In Gatwick, the suspected swallower is back with the x-rays.
74, Main Street.
Alright, 647.
She's put back in the cell. Officers take a look at the results.
It's out of Joliet, Illinois.
4155 area.
she had swallowed
Joliet, Illinois. Okay,
you see the shapes of
yeah, I'm at the hospital still.
down here. They can be collected up around here.
Okay,
Compared to an
hey
actual
guys, we got a
swallower,
break
the
call for
difference is
Alpha,
clear.
A3 and Mackinac, A3 and Mackinac, we got a battery in progress. Do you think it's our guy? Yeah, Mel Black, we're in the red hoodie fighting the female, she's pouring A3 and Mackinac.
It was negative.
It's an anticlimax for the officers, but their plan will be okay.
7234, very close.
It was me. Should be on the way. Yeah, it's negative.
I wanted to take a guy from the stolen vehicle. They mentioned something about a guy in red.
The way she
I
was
know
acting.
430 mentioned about a radio
Sometimes it happens like that.
6 months later, the Gatwick cocaine smugglers pleaded guilty and were sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. The taxi driver was released without charge.
The male in the red is fighting a female.
The UK is fighting a constant battle against smugglers. Coming up, after many years on the front line, nothing surprises Officer Fitz.
Remember he had 4 guys dealt with the vehicle?
In Bristol, Officer Joe has become wise to the game.
They may be telling the truth. I suspect not.
26, have you seen anything?
26,
Officer Chris was a fortune.
Only had a light colorful clothing, orange and yellow. Your RP is at 701 Flywheel Drive. And the advisor they were shooting down Flywheel Drive at some point. Alright, 10 for another
welfare check, 3031 McConnell Road at the Rocky
An incoming flight from Madrid. Emergency officers on high alert.
Obviously, we do tend to get connectors coming in from South America.
184 radio check.
So basically, that's the reason why we're using a dog for this, just to see if anything comes up.
The flight from Madrid is a known treasure route for drug smugglers, so officers are carefully watching for any suspicious behavior. One passenger who originally started his journey in Bolivia has a particular interest.
He does seem quite nervous.
In the customs channels, sniffer dog Barney gets a chance to assess the passenger. With no indication given, Officer Fitz takes him aside for further questioning.
Where are you running from today? Where are you running from today?
I left Bolivia after Argentina, Madrid, and I come now.
I just want to come to one of the benches. Okay. Are you aware that there are certain items you cannot bring into the UK?
No.
Yeah? Such as drugs?
No.
Okay. I just need to answer the questions first, okay? Okay. There's certain things you can't bring into the UK. Drugs, firearms, or involving minors. Do you have any of those items in you at all? Okay then. Okay, if you leave that open,
Young, 2940,
With communication difficult, Fitz proceeds with searching the nervous man's suitcase.
Robert Frank Williams.
Monopoly fan?
After a quick rummage, an unwelcome visitor rears its head.
Something crawling in there. Looks like you picked up a visitor. Oh. Right, I'm glad you did that, not me. You picked up a traveller. Right, you said you work, yes? What is it you actually do?
I'm a butcher, cut the chicken.
After searching the suitcase, Fitz is alarmed to find a passport that doesn't belong to the man.
Okay, who is this?
This is for my sister-in-law living in London.
Why have you got her passport?
The contact Vivian is my sister-in-law sent this for gift to mother because the
But the communication barrier may still be a problem. Fitz remains suspicious of the man's story and his nervous behavior. At Bristol Airport, the flight has just landed from Tenerife. Officers are x-raying the luggage coming off the flight, and straight away they found some bags which are stuffed with cigarettes.
Clear from that, and then going to a flight in the courtyard, not a problem. Oh, you got them
Okay, Bobby, we're almost ready.
It appears like we've got 3
Well, let me know when it's shut down.
cigarettes.
Yeah,
I got a group of cars coming up to me right now. I can shut it down right after that.
Having identified 3 bags, back on the luggage carousel, officers head inside to see who
Go ahead, set it down.
The bags have been checked in under one name. 3 separate passengers picked them up. As anticipated, they walked straight through the nothing to declare channel, where Officer Joe had
Okay, I got another dog. 795
Do you want to know restrictions over the UK? Things can't move to the UK, such as Okay. You aware the Canary Islands is outside the European Union, so there's certain restrictions around to cigarettes, alcohol and tobacco you can bring through. You aware of that?
Hey, 611, ambulance 49, took him to
Okay, do you have any cigarettes, alcohol and tobacco with you today?
Yeah.
How much do you have?
Stealing things from it.
42 sleeves each.
Another call from
All
RP
3 passengers are massively over their allowance.
The allowance is 1 of these each. Okay? That's the allowance, 1 of these.
Yes, did you get the update? Ambulance 49 took him to
Why is that? Because
and do you have the radio?
that's why they're so cheap over there. You haven't paid duty on them.
269. I think I got it. You spoke up. 1469 support.
But ignorance is not to know allowances. Joe will have to unpack all 3 bags to find out just how big the hole is.
Stable, we're about halfway to Stable.
In Gatwick, Officer Fitz is deciding what to do with the nervous Bolivian passenger who's been found carrying someone else's passport.
Insisting your daughter's passport over because obviously she wants her daughter here. That's the reason why he's brought the passport.
Copy for hazardous driver, FM70, Highway 77, FM70, Highway 77, red to be driving reckless and speeding.
Meanwhile,
traveling eastbound on FM70,
searched.
1242.
We have a lot of problems with our
Yeah, that's the only way I can get it. Subject is 342165, 342165.
No, I'm not saying that you have a problem.
I know.
You understand that?
Okay, what's you making
we
the
have
partner?
problems with drugs coming into the country. Now, to satisfy myself that you have nothing on you at all, what I want to do is a search
Number
49, 0049.
While Fitz conducts a search of the passenger, his colleague Tony returns from immigration with a suspicious passport.
I've been down to the what they call primary control, which is the chief immigration passport is genuine.
Must have come off the side street, I didn't see it.
The passport was brought here for it needs to be verified. They wouldn't issue a visa. So they're going to and quite possibly
Nothing is found during the search of the passenger, so officers swap past his shoes. If he's carrying packages internally, traces of drugs could be found in the sweat of his feet. And the high reading for cocaine makes officers suspect that he could be a swallow.
What we've done is we've done a swab on your shoes.
That's a 260-270. It's going to be a silver passenger car. It's a bracket box. There's an Altima Camry. I think it's visible from the roadway. I think the driver's side doors and the trunk were open and a male was seen next to the car.
The man is led away for a full body x-ray.
Heading towards what I need you to do is take a deep breath in and out, and breathe in again, and then when you go to that's when it'll start rolling.
My number is going to be
Hey, somebody, let me look up the
Okay, to the end. Stay to the end.
Sir, we have a general here in EQ lobby.
But it quickly becomes apparent that he hasn't swallowed any drugs.
For the hazard pedestrian at Virginia and Morgan.
Copy 1149.
That's fine.
With the x-ray clear, the traces for cocaine are put down to contamination, and the man is free to leave. The passport he was carrying on behalf of his sister-in-law was seized and Back at Bristol, Officer Joe is still unpacking the boxes of cigarettes which have been brought back into the UK illegally by Tenerife.
145. You can go ahead and give me CAD 18675.
Okay, coming back to 2014.
Joe spots something on the woman's luggage tag that makes him doubt their story further.
Who's
$499.
all the bags under the name of Mrs.
103
checked in under the name of Mrs.
advising he was in 103 is Tony. First unit was 499. Let me know. Must go ahead and take the car.
So you do know Mrs.
They're going to let us know, so we're going to push them off the highway. So if you guys don't mind blocking for us.
The The 3 bags, all being checked in under someone else's name, makes Joe suspect the cigarettes were never intended for personal use.
South Marginal. Okay, 33, take away box.
The fact that they're all under the same name.
Okay, 622, sorry about that.
So they're just supposed to be carrying it for her, I imagine. Sign here to say these goods have been seized from
With duty in the region of £40 for each sleeve of 200 cigarettes, the 3 passengers almost cost the UK tax system £5,000. Once the paperwork is complete, passengers are free to leave without their cigarettes. They're given a warning, and next time may face prosecution.
Okay, first time. I don't know. They may be coming through.
The cigarettes are bagged up and to be destroyed. Coming up, Sniffer Dog Diesel, one of Gatwick's longest serving canines, is put to the test.
Basically, I've opened up the unit now and you can just see there's packages here.
Coming up, suspicions are raised about a travelling Chelsea fan.
He's got no idea what the stadium is. He's
number 510051.
Chelsea are playing.
Yeah, so you can put me in that.
At Gatwick Airport, the UK border agency isn't just preventing passengers from bringing illegal drugs into the country. Thousands of tons of freight passes through the airport every year. And officers work in tandem with sniffer dogs to check packages for illegal substances. Today, Officer Lorna and Sniffer Dog Diesel have arrived at the cargo hangar to assess a small part of today's consignment.
Sheds and we're going to have a freight that's just come off the Virgin Bridgetown flight.
Hey, 99, go ahead.
So we'll see what he does.
No calls in
As one of the airport's longest serving dogs, Diesel has sniffed out dozens of Class A drug seizures over the years, making him one of the officer's most valuable assets. And it doesn't take long for him to start showing some interest around one of the packages. The box contains a vacuum cleaner, so officers remove it from its packaging to take a closer look. And Diesel just can't keep away from it. With a suspected drug concealment, there's only one way to find out what's inside.
I still have the point card expiration. It's on the 2nd of September 2031.
Really getting into it now. He's just dismantling the whole thing, so we'll just see what you can find. Basically, I've opened up the unit now and you can just see packages here and here. So what I'm going to do is take the dog over, have another look at it and see if the dog indicates.
Almost instantly, Diesel makes another of its trademark indications on the packages inside the vacuum cleaner.
Occasionally, the dog gave a freeze there indication. Basically, it just freezes at the center until the handler finds it. Basically, that's a perfect indication. As you see, really small, they look properly tight wraps. That's why I had to get his nose.
Well, what we'll do when we find things like this, we'll do
a
field test. So I'm going to put some of the powder onto this filter paper, if it's cocaine, it will just flash up like a blue turquoise, aquamarine blue. It just takes less than half a second to a second to do that.
Anyone come in the area?
It's another impressive find by Diesel. Thanks to his sensitive nose, cocaine worth more than £80,000 will not reach the UK streets.
Yeah, we have the 8135.
Of course, at Gatwick's North Terminal, it's business as usual. The flight has just arrived from Dubai. The border agency officers are processing passengers passing through immigration. One passenger from Cameroon has caught the attention of officers after he claimed he'd come to the UK to watch a football match.
Academy 8436.
If you've got anyone customs, it's use the red channel. If you've got any cigarettes, any alcohol, anything like that.
Not sure, going to have got nothing like that. Come to the green channel with me. Okay, how much money are you carrying today? 80,000. Is that what?
Yeah, can you make this X51 East 50th?
We'll have a chat.
It was a huge amount of cash for one passenger to be carrying. The man has a lot of questions to answer about exactly what he's doing here, so Officer Chris pulls him aside in the customs channels.
CDC 1 or back at CDC?
All the bags yours? All the bags yours? Did you pack all the bags yourself? Okay, anything in your bags for anyone else? So they're giving you gifts or goods to carry for them into this country.
Range or what, station assignment?
As well as the cigarettes.
Recently, Cameron has got residence in Thailand, so he's coming here allegedly to see children. He's got no idea what the stadium is, he's got no ticket that would appear, he's got no idea what hotel he's staying in. He's got no idea which hotel he's staying.
So what sort of things are you going to do whilst you're here?
Motor vehicle, 13656 Peak Lane, 13656 Peak Lane, hub number 4.
Yeah, please.
Officer Tony steps in to help with the investigation.
My friend is just using a little swabbing device. Just checks if it comes in contact with anything like, drugs we spoke about earlier. It's just like a little sniffer dog.
Stand by for 1 second, please. I'm going to have to issue a new one.
And a small trace reading for cocaine deepens the intrigue.
You ready? It shows traces, but it's not hitting the red zone, but it's still a significant link. So it's up to Chris.
John Henry 504.
Whilst going through the man's belongings, Chris has made an unusual discovery.
What are they? What are they? What are they? Just hair extensions.
14 Rocktown.
Is that your line of business?
This is my business. I have salon. I have my own salon.
Yep.
Cam 414.
Right, let's pat that back out for you.
Yeah, 414, just going to be totally different from the vehicle, right?
You sure? Let's say if you're happy, that's a bit of time. Look at that back next time. Thank you.
With suspicious reasons being given for the purpose of his visit, officers will need to take their search to the next level.
Yes, I do.
In the south terminal, a flight has just landed from Tripoli in Libya. As luggage is being unloaded from the flight, officers have noticed a strange odour coming from a number of suitcases. The luggage is placed back on the carousel, and as the pungent suitcases are collected, the owners are stopped for questioning in the customs channels.
I'm over here with 14 just we're making contact with our team. We're going to get
Alright, so funny. I found it.
430 area.
No, you said, when I asked you the initial questions, you said these bags were yours and yours are mine.
No, because I put it on my name. That's what I'm saying.
Line 3770 Temper.
Yeah, because it's my name. I cannot like this.
From outside the EU, there's a strict allowance of 20 kilograms of fish per person. It's become apparent that the woman's travelling companions are people she's just met in the baggage hall. Officers suspect that the woman may have befriended the other passengers so they would unwittingly share her imported food allowance. The first suitcase is stuffed to the brim with smoked fish, so if she's carrying any more, she'll be well over her allowance.
Calling in and rambling, not making
It's just dried smoked fish. It's whether it's dried or wet fish. If you go over the 20 kilos allowance, it's all liable to seizure.
We have another unit here. If we could just stand by. We have maybe 6 individuals out here when we do a distance search. 1307, can you mirror out to assist?
Officers open the woman's second suitcase, which is also stuffed to the brim with smoked fish. It's clear she has well exceeded her allowance.
The regulations are 20 kilos of fish. If you go over that, it's a commercial amount, and we're entitled to take the whole lot. So in this case, it's about 43 kilos of fish, just for the one passenger.
Despite being well over her allowance, the passenger is far from happy that she'll be leaving with nothing.
I'm not necessarily sure if you would request it. Okay, we're gonna have to double check. I'll force you wanted him arrested. I'm the 29 went to UC and then 2 of them
Show me a ride in Woodlawn.
The 43 kilograms of fish are bagged up and ready to be destroyed. The disgruntled woman is given a warning and released. In Gatwick's North Terminal, officers are still investigating a Cameroonian passenger who's carrying over $80,000 in cash.
673, are you back? I'm just going to stop at the check for a quick personal and I'll be there. Yeah, we got started for a job. Are you back? Okay, I'm happy. Come on.
Looks like
25 turning clear.
The unusual find makes officers suspect that the stamp may be being used for fraudulent purposes.
which is UN security code. I don't just about that. I think it's probably worth running it by our colleagues in Special Branch, because colleagues counter-terrorism unit there. This is very odd, so they might be very interested in it.
631, you were trying to call me earlier?
Officer Chris heads over to the counter-terrorism team with a suspicious stamp. Meanwhile, his colleague Tony continues his search for the passenger's belongings and investigates the large amount of money he's carrying.
He has some make a declaration relating more than €10,000. What you need to do is complete this form. The details of this is a leaflet that explains to you what the law is, why you have to make a declaration. But the moment, all the says is doing is coming here to, as a tourist, but also to look for stock for the shop, as a hair salon, so he's got quite a bit of cash just to fund the purchases of that, as well as his stay here. So obviously says it's more than €10,000, it's worth him to do a declaration.
Whilst Chris and Tony were happy that the man's cash was for legitimate business purposes, a further investigation was launched into the dodgy UN stamp. He was taken away by the counter-terrorism unit for further questioning. After investigation, the Cameroonian traveller found with the UN stamp wasn't allowed into the UK and was deported the following day. In our ports and in our airports, the UK Border Agency is fighting a constant battle against smugglers. Coming up, one man is confused as to who his bag belongs to.
Room 103, contact Magnolia in the front desk. RP was advised by Espinal that there's prostitution and drug
On an
activity in
inbound
room
flight from
104.
Madrid, one passenger seems to let his nerves get the better of him. And one repeat smuggler gets his memory jogged.
Have you ever been stopped by customs before? Yeah. Okay. Obviously you should know them by now.
Unison, before we got a person with a gun, is 7802 Colfax, 7802 Colfax, with details involved. The ex-boyfriend still has a gun inside their apartment.
It's early morning at Gatwick Airport, and a flight has just arrived from Montego Bay in Jamaica, a place known by the UK Border Agency as a hotspot for the trade of illegal drugs. Vigilant officers have been using sniffer dogs to assess luggage from the flight, and they've identified a brown suitcase which they suspect contains illegal drugs. In the immigration hall, passengers are being observed as they come off the flight. One man with a black jacket and red shirt has been seen to be acting very nervously. As he waits at the luggage carousel for his suitcase, he appears to be getting more and more anxious. He spots the brown suitcase that's suspected of containing drugs, goes to pick it up, but quickly leaves it on the ground. As the brown suitcase comes past again, the man stares at it intently and seems unsure about whether to pick it up. He later leaves with someone else's red suitcase. But as he passes through the customs channels, he's stopped to answer a few questions.
You're supposed to be waiting in a white truck. The 318.
Your last part came in low. We're at multi-business coaches box and business restroom with both locked up.
Yeah, you should have been down to East
The officer checks the luggage tag with the man's travel tickets, which prompts him to have a change of heart.
Any of the locations? I'll stay with section 1. We got town for a common one that we get sometimes, and I came from the source. So I can relay an email to whoever to...
The man is escorted back to the baggage hall to look for his real suitcase, but it's already been found. It's the same brown suitcase he was staring at on the carousel, and which is thought to contain drugs. He's led away to a private interview room for further questioning.
400 Ida, are you here? 400 Ida?
Adam 405, we'll bring up for the 01 junior bag.
Officers look inside the red suitcase to see who it might belong to.
I do not know either now. I don't have an answer. I think
people were sort of
848 David, you're
420, yeah. Just picked up a random bag. He's taking the tags off the bag, the other bag, and then he's just picked up the bag to walk through customs.
With the red suitcase on its way back to its rightful owner, officers can now concentrate on the contents of the man's real bag, which they strongly suspect contains illegal drugs.
There's 2 dogs running loose.
He's led away to the airport's custom suite, where the contents of his suitcase can be fully assessed.
5676. Indoor camera. 194
At Gatwick South Terminal, passengers have just landed from Madrid. In the immigration hall, officers are looking out for any signs of suspicious behavior. Passengers who appear nervous will be pulled over in the customs channels. Officers will then check to ensure they're not carrying anything illegal. A Brazilian passenger on the Madrid flight has been spotted sweating profusely, so officers take him aside to search his suitcase.
The weapon that occurred 2014 Harvard, 204 Harvard. Got the 415 suspicious person, Alder Morgan.
How long are you going to be in the UK?
Yes, back to Brazil.
All over Europe, is that what?
I don't understand.
On this trip?
Yeah, Tom 16 there. On
Harvard. So they're just the area in a white Mercedes.
Do you want to say
in a white
you look like you're about to fall down? Okay. Alright, so I understand from listening to you in immigration that it's a business trip.
Okay, yes, it is.
Is that right?
Yes, I was with my
Since the
representatives
occurred to weapon in 2014 Harvard, so there's a male pulled a gun on the Arsenal Highway. She says the vehicle is still in the area. She's declining contact.
You started holding a shoplifter?
I don't know why I'm nervous. It's just because
Unfortunately, for any copies,
this time.
he advised to still go by the area and check it out.
So you must be familiar with travelling and being questioned by people.
Yes,
Yeah? So what is happening now?
No,
Calm down.
The man's anxiety leads the officer to doubt his story, so his bags will be thoroughly searched for any illicit items. Officer Fitz assists by swab testing his possessions to see if he's come into contact with any drugs. The swab is then taken for analysis using a machine that can detect even the tiniest traces.
Last name Avila with a V. Like the Victor.
Alright, it's a residential alarm. 12211 Bethany.
This time, the swab test is clear, but the man's nervous behavior is still alarming. His suitcase is x-rayed to check for unlawful
13, and
concealment.
323, ushering out for a disturbance with a weapon. 5849 where, 5849 where. Contact police. 46.
Was it his first time?
313.
Nothing is found in his belongings.
0510
Officers want to check he's not hiding anything
location, carrying out property with an act. He is sending email purple shirt, blue jeans. She's going to be with another male named Ryan, no clothing description. It looks like they're leaving in a white Suburban.
One way or another, they'll find out why he's so nervous.
Adam 430 arriving.
At Gatwick's custody suite, the man who's been arrested on suspicion of importing a suitcase full of illegal drugs has been checked in. The brown suitcase he tried to ditch in the baggage hall was taken away to be examined.
I'll be clear.
The whole bag together was 29 kilos. Now there is some stuff in there, but I would think that there's probably approximately 20 kilos of cannabis here.
8 blocks of what looks like herbal cannabis are pulled from the man's case. It's no wonder he was keen to avoid being caught.
At the EMS job at 1918 commercial diesel, he got liquor poison. EMS call
The man is held in a cell whilst the packages of drugs are weighed.
No, from the at the ready shop.
Unfortunately, Adam.
It looks like it is herbal cannabis.
But it might be
as soon as you cut into it, there's a quite a strong.
The red diesel shop. Nobody's out there. I'll check that other address. Might be somebody doing construction.
Doing construction. Okay.
Go to 460.
A field test is done to confirm the substance definitely is herbal cannabis.
425 shop problem. Because I think that the alarm just went off. There's a female walking into the garage. Male standing near the gate. They advise that there's not supposed to be. There's not supposed to be anyone in the garage. That's for staff only. They don't know how the female obtained a key. But they're headed
With a
towards
street
Concord
value
by
of more than
female children.
£45,000, it's an excellent result for the
Female
officers.
dark shirt, shorts, around 28 years old.
All the man can do now is await
Go
his
to
arrest.
490. Name and for suspicious vehicle. Whataburger SPID in Old Brownfield. 602 SPID.
In the airport
There's a vehicle sitting in the
the
parking
man
lot
whose nervous
for hours, lights on,
behaviour
windows
and
cracked.
starting
Could
his
be a
arrest
arrested.
suspicion is being taken for a body search.
Okay, if you just put the bags up onto the bench for me, yeah, just put the bags there. If you just want to take a seat over the far end. Very nervous.
Despite his nerves, the man consents to the search.
Yeah, next one.
I have a possible phone number to the owner. Do you want to try it?
His shoes are removed so they can be swab tested for any traces of drugs.
You were on the civil
Internally,
Yeah, 414.
the sweat partly will be in the shoes, so if this test is positive, then it's either used or is
So let's just show you on that call. Will you clear off over now?
434.
Once again, the swab is clear, but Officer Fitz has uncovered some revealing secrets.
Yeah, he did actually admit that he was actually quite nervous. I sort of like, yeah, I mean, he had quite a few
You just won't deal with this one.
So obviously, the both sort of like for me, so like these other blue pills. I said, oh, what are these? He's like,
The man confesses to have recently taken Viagra, which may explain his nervous behaviour.
this sort of thing has an atmosphere.
I have no response to the owner of the house.
Since you've been travelling for so long, I think he was just
Street and
very
stand.
nervous that he's had to go through this.
Tow for this
But apart from that, he is such a
split
nice
mall
chap.
trailer at 96 Euclid.
Okay, then, sir. Here's your shoes. Yeah, no problem. Want to put those back on?
With all the searches now complete and the reasons for the man's anxiety exposed, he's now free to continue his onward journey. Coming up, officers discover a massive haul of tobacco in the cargo area.
If you open up the plastic, there's quite a strong smell of tobacco. There we go.
Coming up, a repeat smuggler plays innocent.
Have you ever been stopped by customs before? Yeah. Okay. So obviously you should know them by now.
If you want to replace the car with the milk.
Airport, 329.
At Gatwick Airport, the UK Border Agency have a duty of care to assess all passengers and items entering the country. Each year, officers have to check thousands of tons of freight passing through the airport. Today, Officer Sarah is in the cargo holding area after being asked to check a large number of packages that have just come in from the Far East.
We've got here consignment originated in
Someone just got a attempted suicide call at 9001 Leopard at the beach. If I get an employee is UID and they carry themselves to have them restrained.
Looks like there's some kind of raging.
Yeah, we got the whole umbrella.
If you open up the plastic, there's quite a strong smell of tobacco coming out of here. It smells quite strong.
With suspicions aroused, there's only one way to find out what's
Yeah,
inside.
just foster care emergency shelter at 773 Phillips. Did you make sure everything okay? I'm getting no point of activation.
If each of the reels is filled with tobacco, it will be a concealment worth many thousands of pounds.
This consignment is marked originally from Hong Kong, where tobacco, loose tobacco, is obviously a lot cheaper than here in the UK. Quite high. And there's a huge black market in smuggled tobacco. This consignment here is about 130 boxes.
The reels of tobacco are taken away to be weighed. Officers need to work out how much they found before investigating where it's come from.
40 kilos. If you take off
Your event number is 05.
it's probably about 10 kilos.
Your account number is going to be 1921920.
The unpaid duty for 10 kilos of loose tobacco is worth £1,600.
It is considering the amount of money that these gangs are going to make. For them, it's obviously worth going to this effort.
Okay, sir.
In addition to the risk of smoking, there could be additional products in this tobacco which are even worse.
The last update was from Animal Control that they were paying them out. They're getting the pain
To the test
and
system would have been over £100,000. It's the biggest ever seen tobacco at Gatwick.
There's just a routine examination by the guys.
I'm going to be on one.
128,
185.
In Gatwick South Terminal, the flight is just landed entirely in Libya. As passengers make their way through baggage reclaim, Officer Helen and Sniffer Dog Bran are checking passengers for the presence of drugs.
CSU's holding a male on one of our
The lone female passing through customs is of great interest to Bran, so she stopped for further checks by Officer Hazel.
Child in her lap. And I got a male rambling about another male walking off the fire.
Delta 415, Delta 420, person vehicle at 1 Shoreline Plaza, 800 North Shoreline, 800 North Shoreline. A white vehicle went up into the garage, it's white SUV, it moved the cones to drive up there, it's male driver, hoodie, possible Toyota, female with black clothing and blonde hair.
Do you have anybody meeting you here at Gatwick? Who's meeting you? You just said you don't have any friends or family in England.
Unfortunately, while you guys are still downtown,
The woman's story keeps changing. Hazel calls for concern.
Speak to my colleague, okay? If you stay here, just finish repacking your bag. Can I just say, when I asked her if she had friends or family in England, first of all she said no. And then she said that she'd called somebody and they were going to meet her at the airport. She's got £900, she's really nervous. She hasn't got
Coupled with the Sniffer Dog Bran, Hazel is convinced there's more to the woman than meets the eye.
She's only got £900, so I'm going to get her, well, I'm going to do the search person and see if she's got anything.
Security call for 208 Greyhound at Fort
Alright, do your bag up first
3516 Mike Edwards,
Okay,
Illinois, vehicle.
Just go into the room for me. Just go in. Okay, there's nothing on the floor. Nothing's been left in here, has it?
No, nothing's coming back.
Well, just need us to sign there to say that you're okay to be
head downtown, 15 or 16.
The officers find nothing during the search.
2125 Superior,
Due to
I
the
got
dog
mail rambling
indication, Hazel
about
decides
another
to
guy
do
walking around with a
one
handgun
more
in his
test.
hand.
Okay, we have a machine here that x-rays you to make sure that you've not got anything inside of you, okay? The machine's just in the hallway, so it won't take very long at all.
If the woman is smuggling drugs internally, officers will know in a matter of minutes.
2125 Superior, Springfield, Bill Carroll was upset
It's
that
the
there was a
middle of
black
the
male in
afternoon, and a
his
flight has
hoodie,
just come in from Moldova.
possibly blue jeans,
Being
has a
outside the
handgun in his
European
hand,
Union,
no
passengers
threats
have a
made,
strict cigarette
all
allowance of
firearms.
just 200.
I'm sorry, who's that? No
In the
motion
baggage
towards the
reclaim area,
firearms, just walking
officers are
around.
closely monitoring a
Can
Moldovan
and
passenger
light
who
brown
has a
color,
prior
then
history for smuggling
maybe
cigarettes.
gray or black, it's a coat too.
As he heads through the green customs channel, Officer Fitz pulls him over for further questioning.
Got a call for 2 people fighting. Someone's using an iPhone as a weapon. I have no further info. Anybody ready for
Travel on your
code
own?
1?
Travelling on your own?
14 out of
Are you travelling on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.